everybody, it is Margarita here, and I am coming to you today from the beautiful Tambourine Mountain, and I have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest with me today, who is she's my friend and colleague. She's also my branding expert who helped me to transfer my brand from the Conscious Wealth Institute to Pitbull, which was a huge journey. And we're going to be talking today about what it takes to attract VIP clients and clients who love you, who really want to engage with you, who are happy to pay you a premium price and then tell the world about you because they love you so much. We all know that the best form of advertising is word of mouth. So when you get these kind of clients, your advocates, the people who actually do all your promotion for you, it makes the game a whole lot easier. So we're going to talk about all the kind of things that need to happen for you to be able to create that kind of profile today. And I really want you to get the most out of this. So firstly, grab a pen and paper and take notes. Whatever really resonates with you and you can take action on, take notes, because when you finish the webinar, you need to go and take action on it. If you don't take action on what we share with you today, then it's just going to be another hour out of your day that really hasn't made an impact. So take notes and then take action. We're going to give you some really juicy stuff today. And the other thing is that when you've finished this is something that you can get in touch with Lauren. She's going to give you a link to be able to work with her, and she has been an absolute game changer in my life. So the key is here to really take action. So I will now introduce you to Lauren Clemett. Hey Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Margarita. It's lovely to see you.
It's fabulous to see you again too, all the way from Thailand, having a lovely time over there in Thailand. I'm very jealous. People on the page that you are seeing the video, you'll see to the right, there is a chat box. Now, if you would like to ask questions, then type them into the chat box and I will check on them every now and again and we'll attempt to answer your questions, because the more you engage, the more you're going to get out of this. So, Lauren, you are a neurobranding specialist. Can you tell us a little bit about that and about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. Don't get me started, Margarita. As you know, I can talk underwater, which is what I get blamed for doing lots of times. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to share some phenomenal action steps that I know work, because I've seen them work with you. I've seen them work with hundreds of professional service providers. Can't wait. It's really cool. So my background is in brand management. So I worked with world-leading advertising agencies for over 25 years, had an advertising agency of my own. And it's quite funny, actually. It wasn't until I really started to build my own personal brand, which, just to clarify, took me 4 years, Margarita, to build my personal brand. So it wasn't quick. It was painfully slow. Thankfully, I have the luxury of being on the outside of other people's businesses and looking in. So I'm much faster with other people, with my clients, than I was with myself. But when I developed my personal brand, it came to light, something I remembered from my past, and that's a really good tip to go back through, even back to your childhood, as to what you were doing, what you were naturally gifted at doing. Chances are that's what you should be doing, or at least applying in your life today. Was the realization that when I was about 8 years old, I had a school teacher, it's actually the English teacher, came and said to me, Lauren, you really are struggling with reading. You're not doing very well with English. You don't really understand it. I think you've got word blindness, which in those days was dyslexia.
Oh, okay, got it.
So he basically, it's sort of a mean thing to say to a child, I suppose. I must have been about 8 years old, that you'll never ever be able to read or write again, was what he said. And you'll never be able to do it properly, you know. So, but he knew me. He knew that that would be a red rag to a bull. Anything that you say to Lauren that she can't do, I'm going to damn well prove you wrong. So
Oh, so he wasn't the worst teacher on the planet. He was actually a good teacher.
He was a very good teacher. And he then went about helping me to learn how to spell in my own way. He was open enough to realise that the normal standard processes weren't going to work with me. I needed to find my own way. And my way really was being able to see the words in my brain. And if someone listening today has dyslexia, or someone with dyslexia in their family, they'll understand what I'm talking about, is that I visually have to see the shape of the word forming for it to make any sense to me. So the funny thing is that could have been a disability for me. And in the end, it's ended up being my biggest strength, if you like, my superpower. Because that ability to keep images in my brain of what a word should look like has helped me phenomenally in brand management field. When I worked in those advertising agencies, I was a production manager, and I would have people coming to me and saying, can you tell me, is this right? Is this brand correct? Is it the right color? Can you check this over? Can you proof this for me? Because I could naturally see whether it was correct or not. And that was back in the day, well and truly in the day before the internet. So there was lots of manual proofing, and I worked in TV and press and radio and all the different channels as a production manager looking after the brands. So my disability became my greatest asset, which is very cool. So that really has what's been always interesting me in terms of branding, and being able to make yourself instantly recognisable. And it's why I love working with service providers, people like yourself. I've worked with people in the wellness industry, life coaches, accountants, bookkeepers, even plumbers and electricians who sell a service. They sell the invisible because they have to explain what it is that you do. You have to explain what's the outcome going to be if you choose someone like Margarita to be your mindset coach. What's the outcome going to be if you choose someone who's your healer or your Reiki practitioner or whatever it is? What's the outcome going to be? So that's the nicest thing about working with service providers, is I actually love the fact I've got this natural ability to help you paint the picture of what it's going to be like once you've experienced those services.
So, I mean, there are obvious benefits to attracting VIP clients, because so many service providers are trading their time for dollars.
Yep.
And if they're competing with the rest of the field, which most service providers are, if you're a Reiki practitioner, you're competing on price with most of the rest of the field, or at least that's what most people are doing.
Yep.
But when you create a profile that actually a specialist profile, because we know that being a specialist is much more attractive than being a generalist. So when you create a specialist profile, you then create, you then have the ability to attract VIP clients who pay you more for your time. And what do you think stops most people from creating a profile that will attract VIP clients?
It's a really good question, Margarita, because it comes back to the one part of the human that I really love working with, which is the brain, which is the neurobranding that we talk about, that it is down to your mindset. And I think this is why we've worked together so well, is because we're on that same, we agree, just it's that congruence that we have, that it's all to do with what's going on inside your mind. And you're right, if you have that bright, shiny object-itis problem, where you just want to help every person on the planet, which I understand, I get it. I've worked with lots and lots of hundreds of people in the wellness industry. You are so generous. You just have this ability to want to heal the world, to help everybody. But the truth is that because you've got that bright, shiny object-itis, you end up suffering from FOMO, the fear of missing out, that if you don't go after that person, or if you don't add, oh, I'll just go and do another course and I'll add another thing to my repertoire of what I do, I'm going to miss out on helping someone or earning money from that. And the trouble with FOMO is that, as you say, it just erodes your brand. It doesn't give anybody any reason to trust you as the specialist. Because when you sell a service, you are selling invisible. You've got to give somebody a reason why they should choose you compared to the next person down the other person that they get to know. So it makes it really hard for a prospect to know, like, and trust your brand if you're all over the place, if you have no idea what your specialist thing is, if you have no idea what the number one thing is that you want to be well known, well paid and wanted for. How do you expect somebody else to instantly say, wow, you're fantastic, yep, here's the cash, please help me out? And the other thing about VIP clients, the other really big benefit, other than them paying you a lot, of course, and not even questioning what they should pay you, just giving you the money because they want what you can give them and the outcome that you provide, is that they are very loyal. They will come back again and again and again. And if you have other things that you do, other services you provide, you can offer them to them down the line, which is really, really powerful. You can upsell them, you can have them as ongoing clients. But the really, really vital thing about VIP clients and having them and attracting them into your business is that they spread word of mouth for you. And word of mouth has always been the best form of advertising, way better than any paid advertising, pay-per-click, internet marketing, social media, you name it. Word of mouth for a wellness practitioner is absolutely key. It's gold. So if you can attract VIP clients, they will just be like raving fans for you.
Why do you think that's so powerful? Why do you think word of mouth is so much more powerful than general marketing?
Well, there's three reasons, actually, which is all good fun. The first one is that it's free, of course.
Yeah, we love that.
All for free marketing. The second one, of course, is that it's third-party endorsement. It's somebody else saying, wow, Margarita is phenomenal. This is what she did for me. This is what I had going on in my life. And when I used her services, she did amazing things. And, you know, got over these barriers. These problems never came back. I've never found in my life about myself, about what I'm doing, about where I'm going. You've got to go and see her. Experience something in your life because of somebody else, and it's made such an impact on you, you're going to tell the world. Yeah. So it's a third-party endorsement. And the third thing is that it's a ripple effect. It's I might meet someone in 2 years' time, Margarita, whose sister suffers from this problem, and I keep saying to them, well, go and talk to Margarita. 2 years. 2 years later, I'm talking to somebody else's sister.
Yeah.
Whose brother's uncle's cousin says, wow, fantastic. So there's this ripple effect that you can have. And from a wellness perspective, you want to have that ripple effect. You want to create a ripple that goes around the world, that has people, you know, noticing you and saying, yep, that sounds like me. They sound like the ideal person. I need to speak to them now. How do I book them? And quite happily putting their credit card in and booking a time to talk to you.
So how does branding have an impact on that? What is the importance of branding? Because look, to be honest with you, I hear a lot of internet marketers go out there and say, you don't need a brand, just use your name. Now, they're not branding experts. And my experience is that that's not necessarily the best way to create an authoritative profile. And a profile that does stamp your authority in the marketplace. So why does building a brand have a bigger impact on being able to attract VIP clients?
Okay, it's a very cool question. And it comes back to that neurobranding. I think it's interesting, when you first started your business, Margarita, when you first got into the coaching that you're doing, you probably spend a lot of time on reading particular books. You might have done training for certification. You would have said, right, I need a room to counsel people, or I need a website for people. So you spend a lot of time and you invested a lot in your business. Chances are, though, you never once stopped to think about consumer behavior. And you never even paid someone to teach you about consumer behavior. What goes on inside the brain of your prospect? No one ever told you that. So that's why I'm so passionate about neurobranding, because it gives you insight as to how quickly and so simply you can make sure that your message, your brand, which isn't just a logo, it's everything about you, your culture, your essence, your values, the process that you use, your expertise, everything else is all your brand. And you need to communicate that to your ideal prospect in a millisecond. And the only way to do that is with a brand. don't have the time. The consumer's brain, if you think about your day, you woke up this morning and thought, I'm hungry, the dogs need feeding or going for a walk, what's happening with my horses, this is happening, Laurie's going and doing it. There's all this stuff going on in your brain. You've got to cut through that. Simple, instantly recognizable message that someone can say, hang on a minute, I need that. So if you don't know how to do that, if you don't understand, it's really simple. It's not difficult. You just need to know how. So that's where the branding part of it, personal branding, comes in. It's so simple. We went through the process together, Margarita. It wasn't easy. Do you know what I mean? I know you really struggled with that whole process. It was like a rebirthing of your entire brand. But it was simple, wasn't it? The steps we did were simple. They weren't rocket science.
No, absolutely. It wasn't rocket science. There was a lot of emotional stuff for me going on behind that as well. And I just want to talk briefly about my experience with the whole branding thing. Is that, of course, you helped me to rebrand from the Conscious Wealth Institute to Pitbull. Now, I had actually there was a story behind the name Pitbull, and I'd sort of come to you with that name. So I already had the name. We didn't have to do that part of the process, but actually owning that brand was one of the biggest transitions for me. And having a brand like that really it's impactful. And I want to share my experience with having an actual brand rather than just Margarita Vorobioff, is that when I go to a networking event and I show up as Pitbull from Pitbull Mindset, there is an impact for people. I'm no longer just a face with a name, just like everybody else in the crowd. I'm Pitbull. And that has an impact on people. It also makes people curious. You're what? What's your business name? Pitbull. Man, what's that about? Well, this is who I am. This is what I do. It also, Conscious Wealth Institute, when I said that, people would kind of glaze over. Oh, well, that's nice. Like, yeah, whatever. What does that mean? Conscious Wealth Institute. There's no impact. So I was very attached to my Conscious Wealth Institute brand, but I hadn't done any branding around it. I just kind of came up with the name. And it really wasn't having the impact that I wanted. So, but then having the Pitbull brand really liberated me and made it possible for me to own all of me. So with the Conscious Wealth Institute, I was still trying to be everything to everybody. That whole fear of missing out thing, the FOMO, I was still trying to save everybody and save the world, and there was no real targeted marketing. And it sort of worked to a point, but I got stuck. I hit a ceiling with the Conscious Wealth Institute, and I just couldn't get beyond it.
No.
It was. I was so burnt out trying to be everything to everybody and not getting the traction or the results that I really wanted to make and having a global impact. When I changed to Pitbull, all of a sudden I could own all of me. I could show up as all of me. I can be confronting, I can be challenging, which I always am with my clients. I didn't have to be this fluffy, nice, I want to be accepted person that I was trying to be with the Conscious Wealth Institute. So that was my experience with changing to the Pitbull brand, which I'm wearing today. So, yeah, it was a very liberating experience. And that's when, as I said, going to networking events, I give people my card. They remember Pitbull. They're not necessarily going to remember Margarita Vorobioff or the Conscious Wealth Institute. So it's been a very, very powerful exercise for me. And I'd love you to speak about the True North exercise that you do, because I'd love to leave people with before we finish, we've still got plenty of time, but before we finish today, I'd love people to understand an exercise that they can do to help them to find their authority in the marketplace and start to figure out what their brand is.
Absolutely. Cool. Because I think the biggest thing that's come out of your story, Margarita, and it's the same with a lot of the people I work with, is, and I've worked with hundreds of professional service providers, is that once you know what your true north is, once you know, and you've got it. Oprah Winfrey talked about it when I saw her live last year as the thread that's gone all the way through your life. So mine was dyslexia as a child, and I always was drawing and painting and creating, and that was my thing. That's my life. I've been a graphic designer, I've worked in advertising, I've worked in brand management. I'm now working in personal branding because it uses all of But what's been the thread through your life? What's been the thing? Once people go back to that and say, okay, now I've found my true north. This is the one thing that I want to be well-known, well-paid and wanted for. It becomes really powerful. You step into and you start to live your brand. But the interesting thing is that there's still a barrier to overcome. So I can give you the formula, absolutely fine. And it's something I love to share with people because it is very simple to do, but it helps you find that commonality, that one thing. But there is some work to do after that, which I think is what you discovered, Margarita, is you have to then understand that you have to sell it to yourself. There's no one else in the world that you need to sell your services to. You just have to believe it yourself. There's only one person. So as soon as you get over that fear of, I'm not good enough, I don't have anything to offer, I'm not special, someone's going to find out I'm a fraud, all those sorts of imposter syndrome type feelings, which is where your skills come in terms of being a fantastic mindset coach, is that you can believe in your brand. The belief that you have in Pitbull is tangible, way much more than you ever had in Conscious Wealth Institute. And the belief you have in yourself and what you can do for the world, what you can do for people. And it's because you have that one thing, that really strong foundation for you to go, right now, I've got this brand, I can leapfrog from there. I can do these amazing things. So the True North process, if you like, and this is part of the award-winning Authority Rocket program that I developed, is there to help you go, okay, shut out that bright, shiny objectitis, that kryptonite that everybody has, and just let's focus for a minute on what it is I want to be well-known, well-paid, and wanted for. So it's pretty simple, really. It bases itself on a compass, and most people know how to draw a compass. So if you've got a piece of paper and pen, you can draw a compass, which basically is, I'll draw one myself in front of me. You've got something very simple, a cross like that with an arrow with a north at the top, west on the left, east on the right, and south on the bottom. So if you want to draw that in front of you.
So difficult, Lauren.
I know, I don't do difficult, so there you go. So we start at west. We always start at west, and west basically stands for what? So what is it that you do? Can you explain that in a nutshell? What is it that you, not the how you do stuff, the what. What is it that, so I help people find clarity and direction with their personal brand. So what's the outcome that you give for people? Not the how you do it, but what's the outcome? What is it? What's the problem that you solve? What's the pain that people have that you have a solution for? Really sit down and think about what the outcome is that you deliver to the world. It's so important that you concentrate on what it is here for. What's your purpose? So really,
and what if, before you move on, what if somebody says, oh, well, I have like 50 outcomes that I can get for people?
Yeah, absolutely. But in reality, there will be one major thing that it does for people in their life. So yes, you might, say for example, you might be a specialist in the area of massage. So massage, there's lots of different outcomes. There's lymphatic health, there's psychological health, there's flexibility, there's arthritis pain, there's pregnancy, all these things at the time. But in reality, the actual outcome that you have, the actual outcome that your clients have, is that they can get on and live their life without suffering or without pain. They can get on and do, because if they've got pain that they need help with, and they've come to you as a masseuse or a healer in that art, is that they have a struggle or a pain or something that's stopping them from doing what it's stopping them from having an active life, or stopping them from getting up out of bed in the morning with energy. So in reality, there might be lots of outcomes, but the one main thing you do for people is you help them to get on and live the life they really want.
Okay.
So you have to take it a little bit, it's back to consumer behavior. What goes on inside the life of your existing client once you've helped them?
Yeah.
So it's much, much deeper than just outcomes. It's all about what you do for people. And how that changes their life. I know I worked with a Alexander technique practitioner, and he used to talk about himself as being a back coach, and everybody just thought, well, that meant he's either a chiropractor or a physio. So they just lumped all those other people. We actually looked at his branding and what he did, and what the one thing was that he delivered for people, and he actually liberated people from back pain. Whereas Whereas a doctor or a physiotherapist says, keep coming back to me. Come
Mm.
back to me over and over again, because I'll put you on a pain management program.
Mm.
Whereas Paul's technique got rid of back pain, actually got rid of it, removed it. So he
Wow.
started calling himself a back pain removalist.
Wow.
You know, and we built a whole brand around his brand's called Emochi, which is an amazing name. It actually is a Sanskrit word. It means liberation, breaking the chains. So, yes, I think about it all leads back to what it is that you do for people. What's that thing that goes on inside their brain, that thing, that switch that changes once they've experienced your services? What do you do for them? So the next part on the compass is East. Go across to East. East stands for execution. Not in terms of killing off anybody, but the how. This is the how. This is the opportunity for you to actually write down, okay, so how do I do it? What is it? What are the tools that I use? Is it as you use EFT, you use sound healing? What are the different ways that you actually help people? What's the process that you use? Do you walk them through a set program or a system, or do you have follow-up calls? Do you walk them into a course or a retreat or a program? Or so the how is it that you deliver your services? Because chances are somewhere in there will be something that you do that's unique, that you haven't thought about before. And I did this once with a video specialist, can't remember his name, Anthony. And he ended up calling his business Impression Pictures, because his background was actually in film. But we went through this how thing with him, and I got him to write it down. Well, what's the first thing that happens when you meet somebody? So think about that in your business. What's the first thing you do? Well, you might offer a consultancy. And here's the challenge to all the wellness people who are listening to this. If you're in the wellness industry, are you offering a minute consultation call? Because if you are, I'd like you to stop. Because that's not somebody who has VIP clients. Somebody who has VIP clients charges for every single second. Give them away something else. Record it as a tutorial or a DVD or something else. I absolutely love the fact that people need to have a taste. They need to try you before they buy you. I understand that. But don't give away your live time. Your live time is precious. If you want to be a VIP client attractor, you can't give away your time. You can't say, yeah, have a free 90-minute consultation with me to see what I'm like. If you had a medical problem, like you'd done your knee, you'd fallen off your horse or whatever, and you'd hurt your knee, and you went to a knee, you know what they call themselves, who knows what they call themselves, who cares, and they said to you, look, I tell you what, Margarita, let's try this out. Let's just, for the first couple of hours, let's try some stuff. I won't charge you. Let's just try some stuff and see if it works. And if it works and you like it, then start paying and I'll give you some treatment. What would you do with that practitioner?
Yeah. I wouldn't give them much credibility.
No, you would run a mile. You would think, oh my God, they don't believe in their skills and their talents enough to charge me for it. It's probably not going to work. It's going to hurt. It's going to, put me back. So why would you do that as a wellness practitioner? Just don't do it. Here's a challenge for you all. Stop offering your time for free. Do not offer any more free consultations. Charge for them. Give away other stuff for free. Write an ebook, do a DVD, do an online course, do whatever, and say, hey, look, go there, do that for free. And if you like what you see, then book. Never, ever give away your time for free. It's absolutely gold.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what I discovered with Anthony, now that I've had my little rant, thank you for that, Margarita, was that we got, I think it was to point, we were writing it down, well, first he does this and he does, I think we got to point 20-something before he even picked up a camera. And he was talking about his business as being a video specialist, about how he knows cameras and lighting. And I said to him, that's not what it's about. It's about being able to tell people's story. It's about helping them create a good first impression for their business. So if you wrote down your process, what is it you do with people, there'll be something in there that you have forgotten about, that you do with ease because you've just been doing it forever. And you think, oh, everybody knows that. Everybody does that. And that's what makes you special. So really take time to go through that, or your list of your hows. And there'll be stuff in there that you go, oh my goodness, that's cool. That's a uniqueness to my brand. So
and that's what I refer to as unconscious competence, which is your specific gold. It is your core genius. It is what you do naturally well. And the reason we dismiss what we do, what we naturally do well, is because it does come so easily to us. So we just tend to think that everybody can do it. Well, everybody can't do it.
Absolutely.
And you have a particular gift for it. It is that gift that actually makes you special and makes you stand out. So it's really important that you leverage that unconscious competence.
Absolutely. And it's you're absolutely spot on here, Margarita, because that's the thing that holds people back. They think, I'm not good enough. I can't charge lots of money for this. It's not worth it. There's other people out there doing it better than me. It's all a story. It's as you say.
Yeah.
I know that because I've done training with you, and you've been helping me with my own stories that I tell myself, or used to tell myself. And that fear of not being good enough, that imposter syndrome, will absolutely kill your personal brand. And I think that's where the power of a personal brand actually comes in, which is the opposite. When you really have a powerful personal brand like Pitbull that makes people sit up and notice, that makes you love what you do because you know you are giving life to your talents. You're actually stepping into your greatness, which is a fabulous term that you use a lot. You can live your brand and you can have 100% confidence that what you do is phenomenal. Because it is, because you're living proof that it's happening. You're helping people, you're getting results, you're seeing what's happening in their lives, you're sharing their stories, and you're living your brand. So it's phenomenal. And you're right, Margarita, it's funny because it's not hard. It's what I call your expertise. You know, finding your expertise. Expertise is doing something with ease that other people find difficult. That's why they call it expertise. And you might anyone can do that.
Sorry. No, absolutely. And I think the other thing with that I want to add here before I forget about it with the brand is most of my tribe know that I recently went on a 10-day intense think tank with 46 entrepreneurs. We actually traveled all the way to the Amazon, and we were in the middle of the Amazon jungle. It was just freaking mind-blowing to be in this intense environment with such super high achievers. And I went as Pitbull. My brand was Pitbull. Now, I spoke to a lot of people. I actually mentored some of the people who were, while we were on the trip, blew them away with some of the stuff that I did. And I hadn't spoken to, there were a couple of people on the trip who, when I got back, I approached one of them who's an accounting firm. Now, my tribe know that what I do, it's woo-woo. I'm a woo-woo girl. But I approached this guy from the accounting firm, and we sat down and we had a chat about some stuff. And I said, I would love to come in and do a program with your people. So can we figure something out? And he said, yeah, let's start with an introductory session. So I did that with them. I got into an accounting firm on my brand. Now, he sort of knew a little bit about what I did, and he did keep saying to me before I turned up, just remember we're accountants. Which was kind of saying, don't go too woo-woo on us. But, in that hour, they were actually asking for the woo-woo stuff. I went way more woo-woo than I expected to. But I stamped my authority on that room. And if I had gone in with the Conscious Wealth Institute, it would never have appealed to them. But because I went in with Pitbull, it carried a certain level of authority. There's a national training organisation that approached me, who was also on that think tank trip, who has approached me to do national training with corporations and teach them the skills that I have and the techniques that I have. Now, that's all through my brand. So it just goes to show how much weight a brand can carry. And those unconscious competence skills, when you bring those into your brand and you live those through your brand, everything else just, when I did that 1 hour presentation for the accounting firm, they're not only getting me back for ongoing programs, they're telling me, their clients about me. They're saying, you've got to work with some of our clients. Give me your cards. We're going to hand them out to our clients. They're inviting me to their events so I can meet their clients. I mean, that's just gold. You cannot, it's priceless.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah. And the interesting thing is, I love what's happening, because what I'm seeing is, because I've been through the whole process with you, so it's been extraordinary to share that journey with you and see what's been going on with your brain. But what you just said was basically the fact that the woo-woo is just the how. It's just the way that you create change in people's lives and deliver results to them. It's not the thing that owns your brand. Pitbull is the thing that owns your brand. The fact that you challenge people to stop telling themselves stories, to stop making excuses, to stop holding themselves back, and start to have that tenacity to say, actually, there's stuff wrong in my life, I need to fix it so I can get better, I can be who I need to be the best person I can be. So Pitbull's encompassed the culture and the feeling, and this is the thing, the human brain works on memory and emotion. So if your brand doesn't create something that's memorable and creating, which in your case with Pitbull was a little bit shocking, a little bit, oh my goodness, I need to know more about that, some curiosity, then it's not going to be remembered. You're not going to be chosen, because it's not creating any connection inside the human being's brain, inside your prospect's brain. So that's the E. The E of East is execution. The woo-woo is the E. So it's really vital that you understand that what you do and the how that you do it isn't your brand. It's just part of the way you deliver your services, part of the way you deliver your brand. So let's keep going on the compass. We're going to south now, and south's really simple. You just draw a line through the S, which makes it a dollar sign. Excuse me. And that's what we talked about right from the start with this whole idea of us talking together today, Margarita, was value. Was what is your value? How do you value what it is that you do? What value do you deliver to people above and beyond what they pay for? Comes again back to the outcome. What transformation have you seen in your client's life above and beyond what you thought was ever going to happen with when you delivered your services? And this is the really important thing. You've got to value yourself. You've got to understand that you have gifts and talents and knowledge and expertise that other people just don't have. They have. If I had someone who said to me, I've got real problems with my mindset and I'm really struggling, I would have no idea where to start, Margarita. I mean, I would, because I've worked with you. I'd probably say to them, well, first things first, go and get yourself a mindset mentor. I know a really good one. But I would have no idea where to start that, you know. And same thing with a lot of people who say, well, personal branding, that sounds tricky. Well, no, to me it's easy. It's really easy, because I've been doing it for so long, because I have a natural affinity to do it. If somebody said to me, oh, so I've got a really sore neck, can you do some Reiki, or can you help me with my dietary problems, or can you help? I have no idea where to start. I really wouldn't. So you need to realise that you have value. The reason why somebody chooses a service provider like you to help them is because it would take too long and be too hard and too expensive and too difficult for them to do it on their own. A service provider like you will get someone to their goal faster, quicker, easier, and with far better results. That's why they pay you for your services.
And that's why the process of the execution is so important, because it helps you to recognize your value.
Absolutely.
And so many people, particularly in the healing and the wellness industry, dismiss their value. When you actually acknowledge your value and your worth to people, that's when you can actually start to charge what you are worth, is when you own that.
Yep, for sure. And working out, okay, so if that's the case, and this is back to my rant I had earlier, then the biggest gold, the biggest value, the most money should be paid when they access me. When they get me working with them one-to-one should be the highest amount. And currently you're probably giving that away for, if not nothing, in a free 90-minute consultation for very little. So make sure that you value the fact that the only way they get the gold is when they have a meeting with you, when they have a one-to-one with you, when they become a client. That's when they get the gold, and they have to pay for that. What other things could you be doing that earn you a little bit of money, or more importantly, earn you value? So is there an ebook that you can write? I know, Margaret, you're writing a book yourself at the moment. Is there an e-course that I can set up? Udemy, I know, does little training things. It's really quick to set up a Udemy course. I think it's about Udemy UDEMY, just my human dyslexic brain not.
Yeah, no, UDEMY. I actually just bought a Udemy course from Seth Godin.
Brilliant.
So
right.
that's a great, yeah.
Yeah, of you getting out a little bit of what you do, and without you having to physically deliver it, make a little bit of money, but more importantly, you make an impact. So what are the different ways you could get out there and deliver value without you physically showing up? And then when you do physically show up, make sure you charge the right amount of money for it. So that's important. So then we work from south right up to north. And this is the real key to this. This is what I wanted to get to a lot today and what we talked about. And thank you everyone for listening to me raving on, because I can talk underwater, is the true north, is really figuring out the direction that you're going in. And finding out your single-minded purpose is absolutely vital to this. But with your true north, it is all about purpose. What do you believe your purpose is here on planet? What were you put here to do? Why do you feel so passionate about what it is that you do, about getting those outcomes for people? What makes you get out of bed of a morning, especially if you're a single operator in your own business, working from home, or you've got a little studio or a clinic or whatever? What drives you? What compels you to keep doing that? Because you do realise you're mad. You do realise that to run your own business, to be an entrepreneur, to get into your own line of work, to have that all going for yourself, you're completely mad. You've lost control of your senses in order to do that. Everyone who I know who's successful talks about being completely crazy about something and being so passionate about it that they can't not do it. There's no way that you could stop being Pitbull. And I know at one stage, Marguerite, we talked about this, and you threw your toys out of the cot at one stage and said, oh, stuff it, I'm going to go back and get a job. It's too hard, I don't want to do this. And we have to go through the fact that it would kill you. It would literally kill you to leave your passion and go back and have a job sitting in an office somewhere. So, But why? Why do you feel like that? So start writing these things down. This is your true north. This is the reason why we got to Pitbull with you. This is the reason why you're living your brand, is because you made that decision and you said, no, I'm so passionate about this that if I didn't do it, I would die. My life would be not worth it. I would be just crawl into a little hole and disappear if I wasn't doing this. So really think about your passion and your purpose. What makes you want to do that, to be that knight in shining armor? And if you really struggle with this one really simple tool you can use, or a thing you can do, is ask your current clients. Go and say to them, what was it that I do for you? How do I make you feel? What was it that changed your life from you using me? What did I do to you? How did I help you? And I did that with all of my clients, and constantly the similar words were coming back. You gave me clarity and you gave me direction. And now I know where to go. Now I know how to do it. Now I know how to promote myself, how to talk about it, how to deliver an elevator pitch that people go, wow, I want to work with you. How to promote my brand. So ask your clients. Go and say to them, what was it that I did for you? And chances are they'll come back with very similar, they might use different words, but it's a similar meaning. And you can use that to package your brand. And I guess you did that with Pitbull. You get lots of people coming back to you, Margarita, saying, you challenged me, you didn't let me stop, you didn't give up on me, you pushed me. And that came back to Pitbull, to having that tenacity, to saying, no, I'm going to stick with this. I'm not going to let go until you've broken through those barriers.
Yeah, absolutely. And that process in and of itself is tough for people. And what I've noticed with my new brand is that I'm attracting people who are willing to go to that level, to do that process, because it doesn't have to be hard, but it's not going to be easy either. And unless you're willing to do the work, and I've done the free 90-minute consultations. I can't tell you how many free 90-minute consultations I used to do that never amounted to clients for me, that actually didn't serve the person I was working with, because they weren't willing to invest in themselves And they might have appreciated the 90 minutes, but they didn't value it enough to go and take the action they needed to take to get the damn results that they wanted. And it wasn't even that the fact that I was giving my time away for free all the time and they weren't becoming clients. It frustrated me that I would have breakthroughs with these people, but they just didn't go and do anything with it. And it would drive me nuts.
Can everybody hear the frustration in Margarita's voice? Absolutely. But that's the thing. If you're sitting there in a wellness business and you are giving away your time for free and you are trying to do everything possible, you're a Reiki practitioner who does massage and EFT and sound healing and all this other stuff with no idea of exactly who the right person is that you need to target, it's frustrating. And the biggest thing the biggest passion, the reason why I'm passionate about personal branding is that I want to see people succeed. The world needs you. It needs you. It needs your gifts. It needs your talents. And if you play small because you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your value, you don't focus on your purpose, have a small impact. I want you to have a massive impact. I want you to have massive, huge influence on the world because you have these natural gifts and talents that need to get out there. So I love the fact that you've stepped into your brand, Margarita, and that you are now living your brand. You've got the 100% confidence in what you do. There's no question, no doubt in your mind that you are of value and that you have a purpose on this planet, and it's huge. And that's what I want for everybody. It's what I want regardless of whether you're just starting out or you've been in business for years, is for you to have that clarity and that direction and that focus. Focus stands for follow one course until successful, by the way, which is quite useful to learn. You deserve it. You deserve the world, and the world needs you. If the world didn't have you, it would be a poorer place for it. So you own down that brand. And get over your bright, shiny object eyes and get over your fear and celebrate and embrace what it is that you are and lock it into a brand. Find your single-minded purpose and do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to get eaten up by the sun in a minute, which is lovely and it's beautiful. And I'm getting very hot, but I think I better just close that down so I don't disappear in the sunlight. That's a bit better. So I wanted to add one more thing in relation to my brand and what it's done for me and the confidence that I've borrowed from my brand. And being able to stand in the authority of my brand as Pitbull. And, you know, when I first started talking about it, I noticed how my stance would change. I would actually, my shoulders, as soon as I started talking about Pitbull, my shoulders would come up. I would actually physically shift my feet to shoulder width apart, which is a power stance. They call it the Superwoman stance. I didn't have my hands on my hips, but they call it the Superwoman stance. Down with your feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back, head up, and hands on your hips. And immediately, posture gives you an immediate sense of confidence. It actually shoots off chemicals in the brain. And as soon as I started talking about Pitbull, because I'm very aware of who I am and what I do, I just smiled because I noticed how my stance would immediately change. And it was like, wow, that is powerful. So I've really borrowed confidence from my brand. And a lot of people would have said, oh, you're always confident. It's like, not necessarily. You know, we all have doubts and fears within us. And whatever tools and techniques you can use to borrow confidence, to give yourself that edge, is so important. And that's what I found with my brand. So there is a special offer that you have today for people to work with you, and people, anybody listening, whether you're listening live or you're listening to the recording, take advantage of this, because I cannot tell you the impact when you work through the process that Lauren takes you through. I cannot tell you the impact that it's going to have on you and the impact that you ultimately have in the world. But stick around, because there's something that I want to share that really is very is essential for you to know moving forward to attract VIP clients. And there's another tip that Lauren's going to have for you as well before we finish. So, but tell us about what it is that you're offering, and then I'll let them know where they can get it.
Cool, cool. It's funny actually. We're talking today about how to attract VIP clients. And I think what you just said was exactly that. Once you have that belief in your brand and confidence, 100% confidence, this is what I stand for, this is what I want to be well known, well paid and wanted for, you naturally attract the people that want that. And it doesn't necessarily need to be that you have a Wonder Woman stance. And we're not talking just about everybody having the same brand. What we're talking about is naturally becoming attractive to the right people. And the right people aren't just the ones who you think need your help. They're the ones who want it, they take action, and they get results. So, and that's the big difference. Wouldn't it be fantastic in your business for you to be able to say, I've worked with thousands of people and these are the results they've got. Look at my case studies. Endless screeds of fact and data around people who've achieved what they have achieved because of your help, because of your brand. The power that gives your brand is phenomenal. So, so what I've been doing in the last couple of years, Margarita, while I've been working with you and after I built my own personal brand, put this all together into a program that's been a real pleasure at times and frustration at times to get it all together. It's called the Authority Rocket, and the nicest thing about it just recently, which I'd like to share with everybody, is it recently won a Stevie Award, which is quite important. Stevie Awards are the leading world-leading business awards, and they award people for an innovation in business. So the Authority Rocket program that I developed works on neurobranding, helps you understand how the prospect's brain works, how to paint pictures for their brain so that they instantly understand what it is that you do and they want to work with you, and to understand how to develop a brand identity for yourself that's instantly recognisable and really, really easy for people to refer and say, hey, you want that? Go and see this person. Makes it really clear for their brain to, yes, put you in a box, but enough that they can keep referring you and get that fabulous word of mouth marketing. So it won a Silver Stevie Award the other day, which is really exciting. It's a little bit of a boost for me to know that what I'm doing is actually award-winning, which is very cool.
Wow, that is very cool.
But what I've done is in the last couple of years, I've been delivering it one-to-one with people and in workshops. And I still do that. But what is really exciting is I always wanted to be able to help people with this wherever they are in the world. And I've had lots of inquiries from people in the UK and America and New Zealand and so on saying, hey, when are you coming here, Lauren? When are you coming? Because I want to go to one of your workshops. So now I've actually packaged the Authority Rocket program as an online program. It's actually got more in it than I deliver in my workshops, which is very cool.
Wow.
So I've actually recorded my own workshop. I've actually broken it down into modules. You've got me presenting books with more of these action steps. And I actually go through in one part of it, which is the part that is the award-winning part of it, the rocket fuel part. I go through the 5 questions you need to ask yourself to discover your single-minded purpose, to work out your true north. And they're amazing. They're 5 very simple questions, but they are challenging. They'll push you outside your comfort zone a little bit and make you really work hard to drill down on that. But they help you find your niche. They help you find what's the one thing I want to be well known for. That makes it so easy for people to choose me and for my colleagues and my associates and my affiliates to say, hey, if you need this, go to that person. So Rocket Fuel is a whole tutorial model that goes through that with workbooks and everything else. There's also something called Launchpad, which helps you identify exactly who your ideal VIP client is and actually draw up an avatar, not just where they live and what they do and all the rest of it, but what they think, what they feel, how they like to be communicated with. And it makes it really easy for you to be able to promote and market yourself in the right place, at the right time, with the right message. So that your ideal prospect is instantly attracted to you and they convert quickly because they already know, like, and trust you. So Authority Rocket includes Rocket Fuel, which is the single-minded purpose, Launchpad, which is your ideal client, and very, very new stuff that I haven't done before with anybody else called Brand Magnet, which is how to naturally attract those perfect prospects who love what it is that you do. And the number one thing you can do today, start attracting naturally attracting people to your business who you'll love working with. And that's in Brand Magnet. So you get all of that. And the thing we're doing today, Margarita, which is especially really for your tribe, because I've loved working with you so much and be passionate about people who are there to help others and be so generous with what they do to really create huge impact, is to package this together into a special offer for you. The Rocket Fuel part of Authority Rocket is available on my website. You can go and have a look at Authority Rocket on my website if you want to. $297 to do that training with me. And Launchpad and Brand Magnet are additional to that. You have to pay extra to get those. So what we're doing today is giving you a very special offer where you can get access to the entire Authority Rocket. So that's Rocket Fuel valued at $297 plus the Launchpad and the Brand Magnet for just $197.
Wow, that's massive value. I didn't actually realise you were offering the other two as bonuses as well.
A whole lot.
Okay, so what's the total value of that normally?
Oh, it'd be in the thousands.
Wow.
But if you go, I will tell you what I normally charge. So $100 off the normal price, so $197. You get Rocket Fuel, Launchpad and Brand Magnet, and you can get started today. It's all ready to go, and there's action steps in there that you can actually learn today, right now, and put into action today and see results.
Wow, that is fantastic. So in order to get that, people, you need to go to Pitbull Mindset, as in the dog, mindset.com. If you haven't been to that particular website as already, for all those who are on my old Conscious Wealth Institute site, /UBP. So it's U for unicorn, B for Bravo, P for propeller, because Lauren's business name is Ultimate Business Propeller, so it's UBP. Pitbullmindset.com /UBP. And you'll need to put in a code. What's the code, Lauren?
There's a special code for your tribe to get in and get that $100 off.
Now it was RF Pitbull, wasn't it? R for Romeo.
It's Rocket Fuel, RF.
Yep.
Pitbull. Put that code in, and that'll make sure that it'll drop it straight back to that $197, and it'll give you access to everything. So yeah, use that code and get in there. So the
seriously, hey.
Sorry, you were going to say?
I was just going to say, seriously, I cannot recommend this enough. It will absolutely transform the landscape of the way you do business, not the way you do business, because obviously you know how you do business, but the way you attract clients and how much clients pay you. This really is a game changer. So for $197, it's a no-brainer. You know, if I could just reach through the screen and grab you and just say, just do it. Because you know, just do it. Invest in yourself. If you don't invest in this part of yourself, this really will transform your results. I cannot say that enough, with enough passion and excitement, and it's just such a game changer. Do whatever you can to go and do it. If you're sitting there saying, oh, I can't because I don't have the money, find a way. It's not about your resources, it's your resourcefulness. You know that's what I'm about. So stop making excuses and start to do something about your future. This is about you claiming your future. I'm as passionate about Lauren's work as I am about my work, because I know how integral both what we do is to you being successful and having the impact that you want to have in the world, guys. So anyway, just had to go on my own personal rant there.
Thank you, Margarita. The nicest thing that I like about this is that the confidence that you have in what you do and the way that you are living your brand is absolute proof. And it's just, for me, and I've said it to you before, I'm absolutely so lucky to have worked with you, because every time we talk together, it's just, again, it's a nice little ego trip for me, but it's just a lovely feeling that it's worked. Do you know what I mean? It's always nice when you look at your work and you go, oh my God, it actually worked. It actually happened. you know, so, and I mean, it's funny because so many people say this to me after I've done this, in the workshops that I've done with them, and when they've done Rocket Fuel, they've emailed me back and said, I've got so much confidence in what, you know, I'm so confident value that I can do this. That's the biggest thing people get out of it, is clarity, but more importantly, the confidence. I'm now completely clear on what it is I'm here for, and I'm so confident that it's the right thing to do. And it's funny, actually, Michelle Kanan, you probably know Michelle, she's a life coach, a wellness coach, also on the Gold Coast. She said to me, she put into action just one or two of the things she learned, and within 24 hours, she had a retreat she was running, and she was really struggling to fill it. And she just changed these one or two things after doing my training. And she said within 24 hours, I was getting bookings to my retreat that I hadn't got before.
Wow.
And it was just, she said it was so simple. So that's the other thing. A lot of people might be sitting there thinking, sounds really good. Great. I can probably afford to do that, but I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do yet another online course, you know. This is the difference with what I've done with the Authority Rocket. Excuse me. Is it's action steps. Yes, it's learning. It's important that you learn, but every single way through my training is do this. Go and do this bit. And if you can just do one module and asterisk 2 things that you're going to do today and put into action, you will get results. And the reason I know that is because I'm seeing people doing it. I'm seeing the likes of Paul with his back coaching, which is now back removalist company, and yourself and all these people putting it into action and seeing these results and just going, oh my God, that was so simple. And I did it and it worked. So yeah, that's really cool. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, I get that, because I get exactly the same feeling with the people that I work with and the results that they get too. So it's, I say that the contribution that we make is food for the soul. Money is just the leverage that gives us the ability to make a bigger impact. So the one thing that I want to leave everybody with is finally is that there was the one thing that is going to help you to have people pay you what you're worth and not question what you're worth is there was, I'm going to ask you a question about this actually. There was a study done in the United States at a business school, and they interviewed or surveyed hundreds of businesses, and they asked what was the deciding factor, what is the deciding factor for you to invest in a service provider. So with the survey, they asked, is it the state of the economy? Is it their price? Is it the qualifications that they have? Is it their profile and how well known they are? So they asked these various things. And just think for a moment, what do you think it is? Everybody out there in watching the video today, what do you think that one deciding factor is? Is it their level of education? Is it the state of the economy? Is it the price that they charge and how competitive they are? The answer is that it's none of those things. It's the confidence and clarity with which they state what they do, what the benefit is that they provide, and the price that they charge. So regardless of what their price was, it could have been $100 an hour, it could have been $1,000 an hour. That was not the deciding factor. The deciding factor was the clarity and confidence with which they declared the benefits of what they do and what they charged. So when you can brand yourself in such a way that you have 100% confidence or 150% confidence in who you are, what you do, and what you provide, people won't quibble about the price.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed. They don't question the price.
No.
They're willing to pay it.
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely. And that is just, you can't buy that. You really can't buy that. That is just priceless. So what is the one thing that you would like to leave people with, Lauren, about being able to position themselves and brand themselves as an authority in their marketplace so they can attract VIP clients and stop competing on price.
Yeah, absolutely. Very quickly, I don't know why I've got this frog in my throat today. I haven't drunk a whole bottle of water, but it's not far off it. Very quickly, just I need to get that research off you too, Margarita, because that sounds phenomenal. I need to know where that came from.
Yep. I can't remember the name of the business school, but I'll find it.
Brilliant, because I love it. It absolutely is so true. And one of the extra things you've reminded me of, inside Rocket Fuel, I've included a bonus where I teach you the formula for your elevator pitch.
I love it.
Which you use, the one that we've worked on for ages as well. So there's a set formula that I've developed based on how your prospect's brain wants the information to make it really easy for them to go, I need more, tell me more. I want to work with you. So there's a whole formula in Rocket Fuel that you can get as well. Right, so now that I'm trying to get rid of the frog in my throat, I think the biggest thing I'd like to leave people with is the one thing I see that kills businesses, and it kills them really, really quickly. And it's really sad because I think it's something ridiculous, like 95% of businesses that open are closed within the first 5 years. And my purpose is to stop that happening. And the one thing that kills your chances of success, that no matter how good your service is, no matter how experienced you are, no matter how many times you network or whatever you do, it will still kill your business, is WOFTAM marketing. And WOFTAM marketing, WOFTAM, is what will kill your business. It will make you give up and go back to having to get a job, being less than you could be. And WOFTAM marketing stands for waste of flipping time and money.
Yep.
And it's gutting, isn't it? Margarita, you would have done this. You would have spent money on pay-per-click ads or some sort of marketing, flyers, promotions, you know.
I've done it all.
You name it.
Yep.
WOFTAM marketing. And it's absolutely soul-destroying that you waste your time and your money on marketing your business in a way that just doesn't work. And the way to get around WOFTAM marketing is to be completely single-minded on what it is that you want to be for the world, who it is you want to work with as an ideal client, and what it is that you want to be well-known, well-paid, and wanted for. Once you know that, once you know exactly what that is, you don't end up doing WOFTAM marketing. Every single thing you do pays you back in truckloads. Yep. It's effective. It works. It gets you those VIP clients. It gets you those speaking gigs. It gets you into places that you would never have gotten before because you're focused. So don't give in to WOFTAM marketing. Don't let it ruin your business. Don't let it kill your business. Really find your single-minded purpose and go out there and live your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Lauren. It has been wonderfully fun and so enlightening as always. And I just love working with you because, you know, we're both so passionate about what we do. And it makes such an impact in people's lives when they just get this stuff right. And you're right, it's not rocket science, but there is a process. And once you go through the process, it makes everything so much easier. And so many of us in the healing and wellness industry, and I know I was one of them, is just trying to be the Lone Ranger and do everything ourselves. And that's what kills us as well. You know, the whole, when you're trying to do it all yourself, we're not experts in everything. It's really important that you leverage your unconscious competence, but get somebody else to do all the stuff that you're not the expert at, because trying to do all that stuff yourself will just freaking kill you.
Absolutely. So exhausting.
Definitely.
My husband's across the table from me where we're working in Thailand, and he's just nodding away and saying there's been a couple of people sign up already. So well done. Congratulations.
Woo! Awesome.
I can't wait to work with you. I really look forward to spending time with you in the Rocket Fuel. And you also get access to our closed Facebook group, which, Margarita, you're in there as well. We my gurus, so that's fantastic. Well done, guys. Look forward to it.
Awesome. So people who, if you want to get into this program at the special price that Lauren is offering, which I really had no idea that you were going to offer that today, all of that today, that's just amazing. It is pitbullmindset.com/U for ultimate, B for business, P for propeller. Go and register now and work through Lauren's program, her award-winning program, and just, excuse me, but just get this shit done already. You know what I'm about, guys. You know what I'm about. Just get this shit done. So thank you again so much, Lauren. Thank you, everybody, for being with us today. It's been wonderful having you and being able to share this incredible work with you that really is going to transform your business when you implement it. So I will no doubt talk to you again, Lauren, in our forums. Love working with you. Just so happy that, we're connected and we've worked together. So have the most awesome day in Thailand. Hope it's not too hot there today.
Oh, it's hot today, but there's a pool close by, so that's good.
Cool bananas.
Cheers, Margarita.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.